Hello, Canada Files viewers. This is Aidan Jonah, editor-in-chief of the Canada Files. We are here speaking with Tina Jiuru Zhu, the real estate agent in Montreal, and she is also the founding president of the Canada-China Friendship Promotion Association. Tina, thanks for joining the Canada Files.
Thank you, Aidan. Let me give me this chance um, to uh, to talk about my campaign. Thank you very much.
For sure. So you are running as a candidate in the by-election for LaSalle, Émard, Verdun. And this is going to be, the election day is the 16th of September. So probably a couple hours or after people will see this interview. So you chose to run in this, right? And when we look at Canadian politics, any inkling of a, pro-Canada-China engagement sentiment there's extreme hostility towards it, right? So despite that being the factor, what motivated you to run in this by-election?
Mm, yeah, I have been immigrant here for 25 years, and my three children are born here in Canada. Before, I never expect me stand up to run for the election. This time, why I stand up? First, because of recent years, there are so many things happen in Chinese community. During pandemic, the hatred in Asia community, especially in Chinese Canadian community, they're double times, even more. After COVID, people think this may cool down or getting less, but actually, you see, the things happen to Chinese community is getting worse and is from the policy actually. Before during the COVID is the individually attack, but now you see from the top level is from the policy. This is a really scare Chinese community. So I think I will take this opportunity to speak out. Are we people, are we immigrant to Canada? We are equal. Canada is immigrant country. No matter you are from, you are immigrant. We are multicultural country, we are diverse country. We are all included. It's not excluded. It's not 100 years ago. 100 years ago, there's a Chinese Exclusion Act. It's really think Chinese like stranger or they scare of Chinese. But those days, today, if you see the things happen to Chinese community, the same sense. So it make our Canadian society divided. I treat you different. Why? This is really discrimination and racism. This is
Yes, and I
very
think Tina, I think a point that I think you've seen in many rhetoric of some of the oppositionists and very anti-China advocates has been to point is been they've been used as points to deflect from core
Mhm,
problems with rhetoric, right?
mhm.
I was there, as you would know. I went last summer to cover the national event in Ottawa, 100th anniversary to commemorate.
Yeah, I think you're the
Report that.
only yeah media to cover this.
Yeah,
There,
one
you
of the
see.
very few, yes. But what I'm, I have to look, I think you would understand when you have this Canadian society, right? If you strip away the question of the good Chinese Canadians, right? The ones who frankly hate China, right? That will support Western policy objectives against instead of cooperation, right? If you strip that away, right? Essentially the only condition away from all Chinese Canadians being viewed with suspicion is being against China. So, how far away are you from that kind of situation when your only way to be safe is to hate the Chinese government?
No safe place, because imagine this is that means from the I'm not politician, I'm just a common people. From common people's wish and our our how to say, we really want the government, and we really want the world be peace, not always confrontation. This is not majority people. I did a lot of door-to-door convincing, and 98 per people, they told me they don't want confrontation, and they are scared one day the third nuclear war will happen in our world. So that's very dangerous so far. You see, are we people, are we country, when we deal country to countries, that means foreign policy, which how to say, which principle we should follow each country? We follow the United Nations. We underneath this frame to deal with country and country. And now you see, I create this country, and okay, there's no really, how to say, the rule and the rule of order and human right consider in the country's policy. For example, let me tell you, okay, very clearly. So far, majority people, okay, they want to the war stop immediately. They want to peace talk. And people told me, our money we used for war, why not use Canadian local domestic, people's life? You see, this is and people said, why our Canada should be independent in sovereignty, but why we always not follow the United Nations decision or United Nations resolution. You get my point? So that's a lot of things we have to think about it. Otherwise, if the top policy, the direction no good, how the law policy will good for the people?
Yes, certainly. Now, so let's talk about your campaign. So China Canada better relations is obviously quite an important thing. But what else are you campaigning on as an independent?
Campaigning on, okay, this is the foreign policy, but anyway, foreign policy based on United Nations resolution. This is under the frame of United Nations. For example, not only for China, even to the fire of Palestine and Israel. Okay, so look at what is United Nations resolution. So you see, actually, our foreign policy is not really follow this resolution. Not that's one thing. And the other things for me, see why I stand out, because of discrimination, treat Chinese Canadian not in the same way as the others. They really target Chinese Canadians. In Montreal, they accuse two Chinese community center as Chinese police station. This is really no any evidence, no any proof, and RCMP released this information to the media, and media void this news, and it's really harmful to Chinese Canadian. We actually, each people already get the harmful from this propaganda. This stigmatization is really harmful. And the society is so divided. You see, like, let me give you an example. I have a decoration store in Boulevard Monk. Once, yeah, my customer came in and said to me, Tina, you're a Chinese spy. You're a Chinese spy. Yeah, he is my very good customer. But after that, he said, Tina, I'm sorry. I don't come here anymore. This is something happened to, yeah, Chinese Canadian individually. And the other things is my platform really want to stimulate our Canadian economic and to increase employment, control the crime, and the inflation is so high, the rent is too high, people cannot afford it, and a lot of homeless people around me, I can see is every day in the main corner, the street corner, you can see people asking for money. They are homeless, and a lot of middle class people now, they lost their job, and their asset is decrease. One couple, they have 3 children. The man told me, Tina, we have to work very hard. We have no money to have a vacation for each year, and we have no money in our pocket. We have to pay high tax, high insurance, high mortgage, and daily product. Since they have no money in their pockets, that means, and now government want to give dental healthy program. I totally agree. That's good. But where the money from? We need to open a new market. We need to increase employment and stimulate our economy, Canada. That's my, yeah. Right. This is very important things I want to, yeah.
For sure. So now one thing I want to raise with you is an unfortunate thing. It's obviously the report by TVA Nouvelle from a certain Sarah Maud Lefebvre. We do need to discuss that. Unfortunately, just because it is quite the brazen attack on you and your candidacy, right? So let's talk about, first of all, I want to talk a bit about who they chose to reference. First of all, they spoke about Senator Leo Housakos, who I've done reporting upon. This guy engages with the MacDonald-Laurier Institute, which actually for multiple years took funding from the Taiwan province administration, right? To openly, this in the same MLI that he engages with happily, runs a program funded partially by the U.S. State Department, right? So that's the first person they engage with. Housakos also wants regime change in Cuba. He works with activists in Canada to advocate for this. That is the first person they interview in this. Then they also interview a very active anti-China ex-ambassador, a certain Guy Saint-Jacques. Yes.
Actually, Guy Saint-Jacques, I want to, now I try to reach him. I really want to talk in person with him. I want to, because in Sarah Maud article, he said, Guy Jacques, want to clear the controversial, my stance, controversial. He wants me to clear what is my position. I really want to meet him to clear.
Well, certainly. I mean, that would be the honor.
Because everything what I do is from the most interest of Canada. You see, I've been here 25 years. I never, yeah, expect I will run this election. But why this time? Because I think for Canadian people's interest and for Canadian best, we need to do some change.
Right. And so there was another person, Margaret McQuaig Johnson she's an academic at Ottawa University and is on the China Strategic Risks Institute. She's also another one who is also very strongly basically in favor of Israel, and there is a very so again, these all these people that they interview, they're anti-China, and they also have just very strong, unfortunately, pro-Western aggression stances, right? So it's very convenient who they interview to go after you. But what they say, obviously, and how they speak about it is quite damaging, you know. It is the Guy Saint-Jacques saying that you need to explain these positions, but you've advocated very clearly for certain things such as Canada, China cooperation, and maybe yeah, you've gone to events where there's a
And
consul general, right?
yeah,
But at the same time, what I went to an event, last year. Palestine, it was Palestine community, Arab community, Latin American community. There's a Cuban consul
It's very
general.
normal
You
because
know, yeah, it's
yes,
normal.
it's very normal, but he's really xenophobia, and because in his mind he already predefined. I'm yeah, something, he said I'm agent, Chinese agent. Hey, what is Chinese agent means? I work for China, I get money from them, they funding me. Let them check. Let them check. See, because me, they think what I do is support China, is pro China. Let me tell you, what I do, I always from Canadian stand, want to the benefit of Canadian. You get my point. And I want Canadian turn back to a right way. Confrontation, conflict, war is not human future. It's not human wish. Human future suppose coexist, cooperation, comprehension, no conflict, peace. This is people, humans' future. What I do follow human nature, follow human future, bright future. Is not follow their way, their thinking to let the world conflict, to go to destroy it, is no good. Imagine if the confrontation become severe, it may have third world war. It will be nuclear war. Who can survive? Who can escape? Nobody. We just have one earth. And the pollution, we always said climate change. Why don't we reflect? Which things hurt the earth most is the war. Even now, the pollution from Afghanistan, from Iraq, still there, still there. So we just have one earth. We need to protect the earth. We need.
Thank you there, Tina. Certainly, I think we're on the same page there. So I think we have a situation, as you can understand, because the Canvas has been very vocal in covering this. Right now we have a Bill C-70 coming up. Right now we have this very almost certain imposition of basically foreign agents registry. But as you know, the Canvas covered it with the rhetoric around United Front, any organization that has connection to United Front work organizations. I think I very formally have concerns that this is going to be weaponized to silence the Chinese Canadian community.
For sure, for sure.
I think we can look at the rhetoric of TVA Nouvelle. I think,
And actually, Aidan, one of the Chinese community, yeah, leader. Okay, he already got the letter. In the letter, he said, "Okay, you have to be careful your limitation for your freedom. Yeah, otherwise, the C-70, yeah, will give you something." So he already got the letter in English and in Chinese. Yes.
well,
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yes. Mhm.
so well, we may end up talking more about that outside the camera, but in terms of this interview, anyways, um, I think yes, I think it's this question of internal democracy, and I think look why we interviewed you today is because there's a battle in terms of in Canada between a foreign policy that comes from a defense of a certain economic system and a foreign policy and a domestic policy that comes from a process of internal democracy, and that's what the CANFL sees you as fighting for, and that's why we
Actually, you
interviewed you.
see, when we do the door-to-door convincing, few people mentioned, yeah, the relationship China and Canada. Okay, but after the article, Saha Mode article published, um, at least one of my poster in the street was marked Tina CPP. Don't vote for Tina. And I got some phone call. I don't know from where. They said, Tina, you are CPP. You CCP, you are CCP. Yeah. Mm, this hard to see because nobody really mentioned to me when we do door-to-door convincing, mentioned to me what. But anyway, from as I know, yeah, from my customer, okay. I mean, not this time's convince, door-to-door convincing, just before, actually, most of them do not have really real real knowledge about China. They always said China is really how to say is really not good, especially the government, very very bad. Yeah, but this time when I do door to door, they didn't not many people mention that. You get my point?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I want to thank you very much for taking the time to speak with the Canada Files. I just want to leave you with the opportunity to leave a message to the Canada Files audience before we end off the interview.
Yes, I want to add something, yeah, from Chinese community after Saha Mod published, yeah, her article. Okay, I want to, yeah, read. Okay, this is unbelievable. Here, being anti-China has become politically correct. The word democracy only applied to those they approved of. Just a joke. Okay, so people lost confidence for democracy. You understand me? Now, being born in mainland China is seen as an original sin, S-I-N. That means, yeah, no matter what you do. That means the people come from mainland China, No matter what you do, they always think about your spy, Chinese spy, your Chinese police station, something like this. Okay. They're accusing us without any evidence and proof. A new wave of anti-Chinese statement has arrived. So it arises people's fear anti-China just as hundreds years before. This is a deformation. She should be sued. That means okay. They asked me to sue the journalist. If we remain indifferent to such articles, she will escalate, further demonizing the Chinese community. That's the outrage from, from our fellows.
All right. Well, the CanFL's audience, we were speaking to Tina Jiuru Zhu, a candidate in the federal by-election of LaSalle, Émard, Verdun. And she's a real estate agent and also a very active Chinese Canadian organizer, president of the Canada-China Friendship Promotion Association. Tina, thank you for taking the time to speak to the CanFLs.
Thank you, Aiden. Give me this opportunity. Thank you very much. Yeah.
All right. CanFL's audience, if you want to support this journalism, please set up a monthly or annual donation. All right, everybody. Take care. Goodbye.
Take care. Bye now.